Morning Discord, morning YouTube. Let's get into it. Okay, we see we had some significant sell-off in the pre-market this morning. So let's see how far it gets. Maybe some puts right now. But we'll wait a little bit. Let the early morning candles play out. This might be a big momentum candle in opening. Contracts are slightly elevated today. So we're testing to see if it's going to be the break of magenta for today, for our down. So let's just be patient, let these early candles play out, and we'll get the direction of the market. No, excuse me. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. If you haven't heard sound, it's because I just haven't been talking. I'm not feeling too well this morning. All right, let's see if underneath 636.45, let's see if we get, if this forms some type of resistance at some point. No. Can you? I don't know. Can you hear me when I'm speaking right now? Okay. Yeah. I don't think it was your audio. I just wasn't talking. I'm not feeling too well. Let's see if we break out of this purple. Let's see if we break out of the purple and make the magenta support. I'll be right back. Let's wait for the range between this pink and this white. Let's let this range break and see what happens. Wait for this range between 637.54 and 636.45. Wait for this range to break. Between this pink and this white. Just wait. Now we're gonna see if we're gonna take out this liquidity here. And there's this liquidity here. So we'll see which way we're gonna go. If we continue up, look for this pattern, right? If we continue down, we're just gonna stay inside this purple. We're still inside opening candle. You didn't miss anything, so no FOMO here. You didn't miss anything. What I'm trying to look out for to see if we form this inverse head and shoulders with the shoulders, head. We're gonna see if we form another shoulder here. But we are in a downtrend, so you don't want to fight your trend too much. Let's wait for some confirmations of our, if there's going to be a reversal. Some confirmations is if number one, we get above 637.95. We need to get above this for some long entries. So this liquidity box right here, this is going to tell us what we need to know. I'm going to clean up the chart just a bit. You can't trade in this, right? There's no trade in here. There's no setup. Let's look to see if we close this cup here. Look for that. I'll give purple a 2. I'm not extremely excited about purple this early. I would like it to maybe gather a little bit more liquidity before break up purple. I'm gonna give purple a 2. Right, it's highlighted in 2. This is my confidence level. So purple is important because we want to see if we're just continuing in purple or if we're going to break out of purple. So purple is important. Right, so these were your 2 options if we're still inside purple, and the other option was if we break, if we break the purple, retest it, and then reject off the purple. So do you see this range that I have between white 636.45 and this pink? This one I'm telling you, wait for this range to break. This pink and this white range, just give it a second. You see where the liquidity is built up, right? You see it built up right in here. So let's see if we break above this box, retest it and reject off of it, or if we break below, retest and reject. This is what we need to see. Okay. Let's see if we're going to go back and retest that 20 MA. Okay, if you took the break of purple, you're in a lot of money right now. That was a good trade. Break of purple. You had the momentum candle. Look at the money we just printed. Look at this money. From the break of this purple, right? Above the box. And this is what I'm telling you about. You got two options and you got to figure out what type of trader you are. If you want to wait for the break of purple, right? Then you have to be comfortable with waiting for the break, the retest, and the rejection up. You're just gonna have to be comfortable with that. Otherwise, if you get in, you're hoping that it does this, right? That it just cascades in a direction on the break. But, you know, this is the risk you take when you wait on the break and retest. This is the risk right here. Look at the money we just printed. Look at this money we just printed from break of purple, 637.37 to right now, 638.88. There it is. Look at the money we're printing. All right, this is a pretty good trade. If you didn't take your profits from here, there's nothing I can do. I told you where the money was going to be. It hit exactly as I said. We knew break of pink. We knew break of this liquidity was one entry level. We knew break of purple was another entry. Break of pink was another entry. Break of white was another entry. Amazing trade. Look at this money we just printed. All right, let's see how much we can get out of it. We're hoping to target 639.85. Look at the money we just printed. There it is. There it is. I've done my job for today. You don't have to sit here and trade all day. Take your wins and move on. Move on with your life. Do not sit here and keep trading because you missed this trade or whatever, you know, whatever the psychology is. You're going to ruin your account like that. Break of purple is our setup. Even though it's a confidence too. That was the setup. That presented itself. I did my job for the day. Good money. Let's see how much we can get out of this. I'm not going to give too much room for this. So I have my stops underneath this red wick right here. I'm not going to give it too much room because I want to secure something at least for the day. So I'm going to secure this much for sure for the day. And whatever happens after this, happens after this. So all of my contracts are underneath this red candle wick right here. Look at the money we're printing. Look at this money we're printing. Let's hit the target. Come on. Come on, let's hit this target. Easy money. Easy. Look at the money we're printing right now. Look at this money. simply amazing. Look at the money we just printed. Let's see if we can get to this target. Let's get to this target. I'm not going to overstay my welcome. I know where all the liquidity is. Right? We have some liquidity on 639.85 and we got a lot at the 20. I'm not going to overstay my welcome. I'll probably move my stop underneath this green candle here. So I just moved it from underneath this red wick to underneath this green candle. So like a $1. This is how I'm nurturing the trade. I'm babysitting the trade. I'm not going to move it too much just in case there's a big spike. I'm going to give myself a little bit of room. I want to try to make it to this target right here. I'll probably go somewhere inside of this green candle here. First trade of the day was an absolute banger. What did it go? From 637.40. Worst case scenario, 639. Okay. 2-point move. Early in the morning, you should be done for the day. There's no reason to sit here and keep trading. I'm gonna hope we gain some strength here, and then if we start making this little area of support, I'll move my stop underneath this little area of support. If we get below this dotted line right here, it'll stop me out. But if not, the rest of my contracts are right here. So I have a little bit of air. I got a little bit of room to survive for my first set. And then if we go below this, I'll take all my profit. I'll get out. So I'm underneath $1 underneath this wick. So if I get stopped, I get stopped. No big deal. Half the contract's gone. The other half are sitting underneath this green. So not a lot of gap there. I'm just really hoping on this push up to 39.85. And this is why I'm the best. This is why right here. This is why I'm the best. You just saw it right there live in front of your face. This is why. Now I'm going to move all my contracts to here. Underneath this. I'll probably collect. Let me see how this candle closes. Let's see if we get to the 20 on this. Look at the money we just printed. Look at the money we're still printing. How long did that take? 18 minutes into the day. 18 minutes to make all this money. To make it's life-changing money. All right, let's see if we can get 39 what is this? 39.85 to be support, then I'll move my stop underneath 39.85. I want to get above this. I'm hoping we target the 20 now. Hoping we target the 20. This was a pretty pretty simple trade. We knew our criteria was at least above this box. Setup number one. Number two, we have our confidence level 2 purple right here. Number three, we have our pink resistance for our morning. In the Discord, you guys know what that means, right? When I do the pinks. We had our white, if you still weren't convinced, and then if you needed convincing after white, there's no more trade after that. So there's nothing I can do past that. If you didn't take, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4 entries. If you didn't take any one of those entries, don't worry about it. There's more. There's more to come. All right, my first set of contracts got taken out when it rejected back underneath. Where are we? 639.85. My next set will get taken out halfway between this candle. Actually, I'll put them above these bodies right here. So if we get stopped out here, I get stopped out. And good trade. Okay. Look, watch it. Watch it go green right here. That'd be so upsetting if it goes green. Just the dollar just to stop me. Oh, come on. If it does this $1, see this $1 stop out business? Oh man, come on, man. They better at least give me one more candle down so I don't feel bad. Look out. Look. By $1? Oh my god, it stopped me out by $1. Okay. That was my fault. That was my fault. I was just inside of... That was my fault. I could have got some more. Ron, you're still holding? Man, Ron, you can... You've got the grip strength of a titan. Ron can hold on till the wheels fall off. I know this is gonna sound bad. I almost want it to reverse just so I don't feel the FOMO. That's a horrible thing to say. It went just enough to stop me out. Look at this. This one red candle right here was just enough to stop me out. Oh man, what's gonna happen? So if we get a weak bear cycle, look for continuation. Continuation to the upside. If we get a weak bear cycle, Discord knows what that means. Look for continuation, but you got to be careful because you see where the liquidity is, right? 639.85 and the 20. So risk to reward here is going to be thin. Yeah, the risk to reward on break of purple was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Hit our target. I'm kind of glad I didn't overstay my welcome now. But it would be odd. It would be odd to actually no, never mind. Never mind. I'm gonna clean up this chart. If we get a weak bear cycle, we'll get another opportunity to buy calls, get in. But our first trade of the day was a simply amazing trade. I mean, 2 full points. Almost 2 full points on early morning trade. Now the bigger cup closed, so let's see if we get continuation. So if this cup closed, are we gonna do this and then this? Let me draw this better. Now we gotta look out for the bigger cup to see if we're closing this bigger cup. I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. If you see a weak bear cycle coming in, if you see a weak, meaning it's crossing before it gets below the 0 line. If we cross these 2 lines before the MACD gets below, look for continuation up. If not, we're just continuing the bear cycle. I'm not too sure about this green yet, so give green a second. I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. All right, really quick. Let me see if everyone's here. Okay. So when the market makes excuse me, big moves like this, right? So it went from 36.41 all the way to 40. So a 4-point move, right? Whenever the market makes a big move like this, now you need to wait to see for continuation, right? Because you're either looking, so let's say you had a big move, right? The big move is, let's say we go up. Now you need to look for continuation, which is going to be the continuation pattern, the bolt, right? Which is essentially a part of a bigger structure, which is the cup and handle. So whenever you see a big move, you got to look for the continuation. So if you missed the first move, you didn't miss anything, because you know there's either continuation coming or rejection coming. Right, so let's see if we get a weak, what do you call it? Bear cycle here. Okay, continuing on with what I was just talking about. So let's say you get a big move up. Then you gotta look for, if you get a big move up, so there's always excuse me, there's always a pattern to look out for. And then you need to use your higher time frames to figure out which pattern's playing out. It's going to be a little bit difficult today because you see the big engulfing candles. It's going to be difficult. So you see the liquidity level right here. And you see the liquidity right here. There you go. So your safe puts are going to be under 636.45. That's your safety puts, right? Underneath here. Because you'll know you've taken out this liquidity here to give you some strength to the downside. So now we want to see if we start testing this liquidity right here and then rejecting off of it. So we'll see if purple's gonna bring us back home again. If this happens, right? So just be patient here. Don't overtrade this. You see where the liquidity is. You see how it's built up in here. You see where it's built up over here. So now you know what needs to happen, right? If we get above this, we're most likely going to hit at least 639.85 and maybe the 20 MA. And if we start getting below this white, then you look for downward continuation. So just be patient. Don't overtrade. I'll be right back. It's kind of a difficult environment to trade in because of the engulfing candles. This was the only trade I liked, so this is the only trade I took so far on the break of this purple. Yeah, this was a very good trade. Yeah, so you see this liquidity where it's built up. You see the box, right? You see the liquidity boxes. So it's another important thing to know is it's not a guaranteed thing, but each box, liquidity box, you'll notice is also a flexion point, a point where it can elbow to the other direction. So each liquidity box is an elbow to one direction or the other. That's how I look at it. Yeah, these liquidity, yeah, for sure, they help a lot. And we see we're just constant rejection off the top of purple. Purple, reject, purple, reject, purple, reject. So this could be setting up good deep structure, right? This deep structure. We could be setting up very deep structure here. When I'm talking about deep structure, this is what I'm talking about. Where you have entire, your play is an entire movement, right? That's the deep structure. It's not just one candle. All right, let's see what we got here. I got to measure risk to reward on break of purple. You got to measure risk to reward, right? Because the next target is going to be 639.85. Because we don't know if we've broken this liquidity yet. So your risk to reward, you got to measure your risk to reward. You see rejection off purple, rejection off purple. So wait for the close above purple. Deeper structure would be better. If it comes a little bit deeper, if it pulls back down to this level that I have right here, that'll be ideal. For me, that'll be a good setup for me for continuation up. But if the opportunity presents itself before then, so be it. Now you see the macro structure, right? The macro structure is just bigger cup and handle. Now you need the micro structure to confirm that. So you need to ask yourself, do I see maybe a shoulder, a head, and another shoulder right here? The micro structure to carry out this macro structure? That's what you need to be asking yourself. You should also be asking yourself, hold on, let me clean it up just a bit. You should also be asking yourself, which way do I see the fade happening? Right? Is the fade happening this way? Or is the fade happening this way? This is just a liquidity box again. Let's see if we get if this was a weak bear cycle to give us the continuation. Let's see. I know there's a lot going on the screen. I'll clean it up. Ooh, look at the fake out right here. Look at the fake out. That's why we have our criteria, right? We want to close above purple, measure risk to reward, purple to 639.85. Our entries or our triggers for entries didn't happen yet, right? Number one, at minimum, we got to close above, not wick, close above purple. So this is also a little bit of thin structure. We want to see the deep structure. We want to see it pull back even further. That'll be great. A deeper pullback for the continuation, and then our micro structure would look like maybe a mini cup and handle or a micro cup and handle. All right, for any further downside, if it wants to continue down, you got to watch for this. But there's going to be a lot of liquidity between pink and white. So you got to be careful down here. You see this liquidity and how choppy it is. It's going to be the same over here. Just be patient. Just be patient. You know what the setups are. Don't FOMO into anything. Okay. Okay. You better believe I got all of that. Doesn't matter what happens from here. My trade's protected. You better believe I got all of that. Look at the money we just printed. To whoever sent me a DM this morning talking about parlor tricks, I want you to explain to me how, in real time, did I draw exactly, not this key level, look where I drew my line. Look exactly where I drew my line. I want you to explain to me how I did that. This is in real time. How did I do that? If you think there's parlor tricks going on, you know who you are. You sent me a message this morning. How did I do this before it happened? How? Before this happened, I drew this perfectly. Get out of here. Explain to me how I did it in real time. Explain to me the parlor tricks, the smoke and mirrors, when this is done live. I want you to explain that. I want you to tell me who's doing what I just did. Exactly the way I did it. No one's doing it. It doesn't happen. Look at the precision. You know who you are. You sent me that message this morning. So you should be eating crow right now. You should be eating your own words. Look what just happened right in front of you. I did that just for you. Just for you. Look at the precision. I never draw this random ass line here. Look at this random line I drew. Look at the precision. How did I know it was going to hit this line exactly? Don't tell me about parlor tricks, my friend. Do not tell me about parlor tricks. You have no idea what you're talking about. Which is why this is why I didn't respond. If you're wondering why I didn't respond to you, this is why. Because you aren't worth a response. Why do you think that I owe you an explanation? If me doing this in front of your face, and I know you're watching. I know you're watching. You have to be watching. If me doing this in front of your face live isn't enough to prove to you, then you're lost. Nothing's gonna prove to you. You're lost. And you can keep trying to hate on me or whatever it is you think is going on. I'm not sure what you think I got going on here, but or even how I could make up these results. I am not that computer savvy to go out of my way to live stream every single morning. I'm not computer savvy enough to get away with that. Sorry, that's just the truth. Nor do I care to do that. That doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help me make money. But this right here, you can't make this up. You simply can't make this up. This was done live in real time. Everyone saw it. So to the haters, I get it. I get it. Yeah, this morning someone sent me a message accusing me of some things, and now this is all done live. I hope they saw it. I hope you saw it for yourself. And to think that someone took time out of their day just to like try to make me feel bad or whatever they did, whatever they're trying to do, you're taking time out of your day to send me that message. And honestly, you have no idea what you're talking about, which is fine. I get it. But this isn't parlor tricks. This is a lot of time and effort that I spent trying to learn this stuff. That's all it is. That's all it is. No parlor tricks here. But if you want to learn how to do it, send me an email. I know you know how to contact me. So send me an email next time and I'll get you sorted out, brother. It's all love here. Okay, break a purple. So remember I told you when this is the opposite, right? So yeah, two options. If you take the break of whatever, one of two things is going to happen. It's either going to cascade on you and give you instant results, or over here, for example, the break of purple. So purple broke, it retraced, break, retest, reject, right? So I have the confidence level 2 again over here. So this was the entry. It's in profit. Hopefully you get a little something more out of it. If you got filled here, that's a rough fill. So you're gonna have to, like I said, if you go in on the break and you get a horrible fill, you have to wait for the retest and reject. That's just the way it works. You have to wait for it. You know, you put your stops appropriate, and if it goes against you, then it goes against you. You know where the setup is. Like let's say you went in on calls here and it went against you, or vice versa, then you know your put setup is going to be down here somewhere. You know where your put setup is. That doesn't mean you immediately turn around and buy the opposite, because that doesn't work all the time. So you see the liquidity we're in, right? We got to get above this level and make this level support. And also you can expect, right? Watch out for this. There's nothing that says we can't come all the way back down before we shoot out. I got in, it's probably on this candle here, on the 10:27 minute candle. This is where I got in. So I'm just holding my trade now. I'll probably get out when the MACD closes. I got in at the very bottom because I knew exactly where it was going to turn around. Mr. Parlor Trick. I would love for you to DM me again. DM me again and explain to me how I just did that. And you tell me it's a trick. Mr. DM. If we start trading below 638.46, look for some downside. Oh, excuse me. What did I say? 638.67. Sorry. Look for some downside if we get below this dotted line. Let's see if we hit a weak bear cycle here for another continuation pattern up. Okay, there's a wedge between green and blue. So I'm gonna unhighlight this. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. My Google just started going crazy. Okay. Watch out for this wedge. I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. Watch out for this wedge. Wait for a break and retest. That'll be ideal. Wait for the break and retest. Remember, underneath pink, or, you know, clearing this liquidity would be ideal. That'd be the ideal. There goes the money. Trade protected. Trade protected on break of blue. Protect your trade. Easy money. Look at the money we just printed on break of blue. Easy money. Look at the money we just printed. Easy money. We had 2 setups all day. It was break a purple and then break a blue. Winners. We identified this green later on, but it worked out. See if we can get a little bit more out of this. Can't lose from here. Your trade's protected. You can't lose from here. Don't get greedy now. Don't overstay your welcome. If you're waiting for the break of this magenta, nothing wrong with that. If you're waiting to break this level here, there's nothing wrong with that. I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. A little bit more out of this would be nice. I want to hit target of down to this magenta. Look at the money we printed on break of blue. Look at the money. Look at the money we just printed. Alrighty, I'm hoping for a weak bull cycle here. Hoping for a weak bull cycle so we can get some continuation maybe. I want to wait till we get a little bit lower. I took the probably, I don't know, on this candle right here. I took the trade. I have my stop. I'll move it now. Probably right above pink. So all my contracts are at pink right now. So whatever happens from here, I can't lose. No big deal. These wicks gave me a little bit of confidence to move the stop. Otherwise, my stop would have been on 637 once we broke blue. Okay, well, good trade. Good trade. This one took me out. I was hoping to get a little bit more out of it. I probably should have went above these wicks, but instead I went here and played a little conservative. Little conservative. If I need to get back in, I will. I'll probably wait for under white, under 630, 645. But we'll see, because let's see if we have this, and then this, and then let's see if we get this. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's see what we got. Okay, this other break of blue for a win. Right here, this break. Small win, but still a win. We have this head and shoulders right here. Oh wait, 803. What happened, Ron? Oh, did you get chopped up in this shoulder, this right shoulder? I'm assuming. Oh man. So any put entries here, your stop would have had to have been above 637.95. That's why I did the shoulder. Yeah, your stop would have had to have been above 637 or 95. This white line right here. Oh, okay. Yeah, so your stops, if you're going short, needs to be at the above the last high, and then opposite for calls. Also, Ron, I know you should be green for the day. You need to learn when to call it. You need to learn to say, all right, I made enough money for the day, and that's good enough for me. Because the more you sit here and trade, you're just gonna cannibalize your account. Eventually, you'll see the pattern. You'll get tired of it, and you'll be okay with just taking your. Because you're gonna be like, oh, because it's always gonna be like that. Like, oh man, I could have got more. I could have held on longer. That's always gonna be in the back of your mind. So, knowing that, you might as well not even make that a consideration, because it's always gonna be there. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I could have done this better. Could have done that better. Could have waited. I could have got a better entry. That's always going to be there. So the reason why I'm saying that is because if you keep reflecting on what I could have done, it's going to start messing with your mental game. So we're comfortably in this green. Oh, I used green again. Hold on, let me change the color. Correct. Yeah. Exactly. Go heavy on the good setups, and then on the risky setups, you scale back your contracts. Yeah. Honestly, one move of 2 points from this morning, that should have been enough. There you go. Yeah. Single contracts on the scalping, because you don't want to, because the risk to reward. So we're still comfortably in this orange. So when this orange breaks, then we'll start to think of another direction. But the break of this blue, remember the target was bottom of this magenta, so let's see if we can get there. I'll spend another 15 minutes on here. So this head and shoulders looks like it worked out pretty well. Here we go. Watch for the cup to close. Okay, YouTube, that's been my time. We had a good trading session. If you're interested in learning how to do this, send me an email to livespytrading@gmail.com and I will get you sorted out. You have a good day.